And we're back, and in the foreground we have Yannick Schutz, and in the background, German previous winner here, I think, Ulrike Wiese.
Yannick's shooting really well recently.
He is, and...
Did you shoot here a couple of weeks ago win this, 8-14? Or
yeah.
was that the one before?
No.
It was here, yeah. So he's shooting well round here as well.
Yes. And he's starting to see that the schedules are busy, but you got to make choices. So, as I say, what you're going to see on this, and he's good enough to get that in. That was not a good shot. Just popped
Feels
that one
a bit
a
ill
little.
there, doesn't he?
You're definitely there going, let's make the others better. But you've got to make a decision on these rounds because the dots are so small. If you want to score very highly, you've got to commit to making certain parts of your shot right. And that might sound very simplistic to say, but you can't lose your way. If you go in, I'm going to, execute in a certain way or something in your control and stay with it. That's a better shot. Ulrike might shoot this one. Nope. So that's 2 draws.
Stop already.
Well, no.
Stop now.
No, we just, just like...
I think all of us wish we had some of Ulrike's discipline.
Yes. But she wouldn't last long in the Lord of the Rings. Right.
No, she wouldn't, but she doesn't need to see.
And that's the middle as well.
Worth the wait, thank you, Ulrike.
What's she coming into this? She's only 3 down coming into this.
Shooting good. We've done 4 targets, 3 down.
Yeah. Yannick's clean coming in.
That's a pretty good average for Ulrike. It's going to be close to the top, that.
Yes. And again, so something that I don't know whether I can explain this very well. Where you start on a field course is... It's very easy to blame stuff, to go, I started on difficult targets. But the thing to understand is that when you're actually cold and starting, there are parts of this course that if you're warmed up, is not going to be an issue. But if you start on it, it's tricky.
Yeah.
And so that's why these things, even at Lier, where it's a fairly uniform course, it's not that it's easy and uniform. Don't shoot that one. No. But it depends where you get to start, and it might be. It's not as simple as length of target. It can be about how good the hold is on a particular target, and you're going like, if I'd had 6 targets to warm up, I'd have nailed this.
Yeah.
And so you maybe see archers. Oh, that's poor. And you could go. He's had that coming through the 3 previous shots,
well,
but none of them were particularly believable. And this is kind of what I'm trying to say about discipline and about what you can control on the shots. He got away with the first one. He shot the next one well. You've got to make... Nice. That's a 5. You've got to make a better shot. You can't just go, I wish there was only 3 of these to shoot.
Yeah.
It's got to get better throughout the series on a target.
Yeah.
Okay, if you've totally lost the plot, it is, I just want to move on to the next target. But for the most part... dropping points after you've shot 2 arrows is criminal.
Yeah. I've interrupted your point you were making about.
Well, no, it's just that there are no easy parts to this course, but I think there were better places to start for individuals. And it's like I say, it's not as simple as going. So to be fair, the 80-yard walk-ups are back to back on this course.
Yeah.
And so that's a tricky place to start. I'm not saying because an 80-yard walk-up is a difficult target. I don't think it is that difficult target. I think it's a decent face size, etc. But oh my God, if you struggle on one of them and then have to walk into the next one as your second target, you're going, whoever drew that short straw.
I think you mentioned individual. It does depend on
what your skills are.
So someone like Mike could walk up to that 80-yarder and be like,
just pin it.
Yeah. And
but he might not like a tricky angle, hold.
Exactly.
But they're relatively flat, the 2 80-yarders. That's another 5.
Good shooting,
nice.
Okay,
And you're there going, each arch is different. But yeah, I mean, I do believe on this particular course, the way that they've laid it out, putting the 2 80-yarders back to back, that is a rough straw if you draw that in your first, those in your first 3.
Yeah, I think Chris is 4 down at the moment, and he's
dropped 3 of them on that corner.
Those 2, yeah. and round to a 20-metre bunny after that, which is a difficult one. So those 3 targets in a row. Wow.
Yeah, that's a 20. Nice. There's no discussion. She's a good archer.
Yeah.
Fiona McCann is the one screwing her sight as fast as she can. I'm just trying to decide. I was looking through my list what sort of sight she has. Oh yeah. I should have gone with it. That is a CBE shooter. Yeah. That is somebody who's gone, do you know what? The last target was a lot longer or shorter than the one I'm shooting now. No quick release, and you just wind until your arm goes numb. Lallemant. That's what I'd like to see. His form dropped a little in the last month, let's say, but if he makes that execution, it's tidy. Now this is...
We did a little on-course sort of episode.
Maybe just gone
himself, and I walked past this target while I was doing it, and I really did want to shoot this target. It looks really nice. It looks comfortable and enjoyable.
But you got to make a decent execution.
We'll
now he forced that, but he got it there. Fiona McCann, I mean, she has a long pedigree of IFAA World Championships, etc. Is never going to have shot anything like this. This will be something of a learning curve for her to start with. Oh, that's not a good shot. That's just out the top with the other. Again, it's easy, very easy for me to say this. You've got to take... Oh, that's a poor, weak shot. And he knew, again, the nice thing about this target is if you watch the shooter's reactions, if it's a clean execution, they're already loading the next arrow.
Yeah.
They are literally grinding their teeth together as these fly if it's a bad execution, because they know they haven't got the target face size to get away with it. But again, where Fiona's concerned, and it's very easy for me to say, so she put the first one high.
Oh, it's low.
And now that's low. At least she is, chase them around. It's hard work. I think, although that doesn't live up to his first shot, Lallemant has managed to only drop 1 on that and will be...
I think he's just shot 3 fairly poor similar shots
there.
Yeah,
and that's kind of my point, is that you're going to have to make good shots. And you can't be at this level. You can't be afraid of making good shots. This is why you practice. This is why you spend hours and hours and hours. There's got to be a method to dig out a good shot. It might be that your sight tape's wrong. It might be that your kit's not working for you. That's a better shot.
Well,
but that, I can't have a better example. That shot, she's got to be able to dig that out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easy to lose your way there. Oh, these are 2 big lads. Olaf van Vlodrop and Bart Vingerhoets. If only we had so for context, Janine Meissner can pretty much walk between their legs without it. But you've got to be. That's what makes the real world class just out the bottom. The real world class archers differ is that they can dig out that shot.
How small is that bow? Look at him.
Yeah.
So that's not the 39.
I'm hoping not. Otherwise, he's a giant.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm not absolutely certain that the 36 goes long enough for his draw length, though, so... Cam's like a dinner plate. And yeah, I'm sure that people will listen to my...
Oh, it's getting lower.
Low.
Will listen to my ramblings and go, you're particularly harsh on, what you are trying to... eschew people to achieve. But
wouldn't be a pro series if you weren't harsh.
No, but you've got to learn. Olaf's actually shooting pretty solid in this. He's only 3 down. You've got, if you're learning, if you're watching these things, if you wonder why you practice to be able to shoot a shot and bet your life you can shoot it.
Yeah.
And there can't be any doubt
to build up this subconscious ability to turn up at these events.
And there's a lot of stuff talked about. I get where you're coming from, and yes, the more you train at something, the more automatic it becomes. And this idea of subconscious, even though obviously subconscious doesn't exist, but you're just there going. It's totally in your control. Yeah. Even if your knees are shaking, you've been in this position. Wearing a national jacket or whatever. You go in, I'd like to shoot this in the middle.
Yeah.
And you kind of ask yourself that question, can I? And the problem is if it comes back with no or maybe, you're like, well...
Yeah.
You know,
I
watched you
remember
lose the British Indoors to Liam Grimwood, and it never looked like you believed you could shoot 10s in that final.
Well,
and
it did to start with, though, didn't it? I think it was like, what was it, 5-1 up?
Yeah.
I think it was 4-0 up, 1-1, 5-3, 5-5, missed the shot, and then missed the
shoot off didn't go well. Yeah, and
but that was a 2009-2010 sort of era when I was shooting really well.
Yes, you were shooting well.
And again, it was at the Commonwealth Games, where I shot against Chris, and I shot that 700. I was shooting great and full sort of
belief in what you were doing.
I could do it, yeah. And then
but
shot against Clint and beat him, and then came up against Chris, and
but you
got to believe these things, haven't you?
But you got to believe things, and I'm totally with that. But you pay for that somehow. Just going there's a lot of sports and a lot of coaches that they're going to people just belief without any truth behind it is worthless. You know, at that time, to go back to what you were doing, you dug yourself a bit of a hole. There was a lot of people wanted to see you struggle at the Commonwealth Games because you were young and you were enjoying yourself out there and you were posting every day from practice about how good it was.
Yeah.
But absolutely, you went, I believe that I've got what I require now then.
I remember I don't know if I've said
best shooter ever.
I remember waking Super G up at 2 o'clock in the morning and telling them I was going to shoot 700 the next day. So that I do
That's
believe in the belief being important. Sorry, back to the best.
Because you had the results to back it up. It's like going, I've got enough money in my bank account.
Yeah.
There's a reason why this boy's good at archery.
What's the biggest reason?
Balance and shot execution. Oh, thank you. That's excellent.
He's really mugged you off there, isn't he?
Mike was clean coming into this. But he knew that was a 4 all the way. So what you'll normally see, and we'll start that again. What you'll normally see with Mike Schloesser, that's a decent shot by Jim Metcalf, shooting a borrowed bow because he blew his up. And if we stay on, we won't stay on the back shot, but you would only ever see that hand go back. That's it. Look where that hand finishes. No discussion. If you want to, and you're watching this, go back on and look and see what he just did the shot before. Back end went one way, front end went t'other way. Michael still steer a shot every so often, but that back arrow, so steers the front. You can't see his hand, release aid hand. After the shot, whereas you could see everything on the one he stuck out.
Jim's
pretty tidy though, only 1 down after 5 targets.
Jim's
6 now.
Jim's second arrow there was very ugly.
That's out above the pro line. Oh my goodness! Now he does have.
He is shooting a borrowed bow.
He is shooting a borrowed bow, and does have more than a little of aim and hold issues, having been pretty unwell this summer. But yes, after the first one, I'm afraid I'm going to have to go with that was just ugly shooting.
He's made the British 3D team though.
Yes. Probably will need a bow by then.
Oh. Whose bow has he borrowed?
I don't know, but he's an APA shooter by trade. It's pretty desperate stuff when you go put your glasses back on. But, not to wax too... Mike... that might be the only... you wouldn't believe me if I said this, but that might be the only shot that Mike drops today. And he deserved to drop it. I think he's going to be 2 down. Maybe, 4.
I do just have this feeling that Mike...
Somebody's going to take hold of it.
Someone,
Right. Hope started a bit rough, but has managed to stem that flow. One behind Toya, who is shooting very tidy. Christina Reuter, we know she can shoot. Let's see where she is at the end of the day. Heather Gore, obviously, we spoke to yesterday, and expected to be in the top group. Mike, so we saw him 100 in at this. Fabian Delabelle, and he deserves his name to be pronounced properly because he's shooting well. They're both clean. Vavro doing one of these well, and Simon Froggatt from Great Britain, 1 down as well. We will be back with more.